Hello everyone. Now we are going to discuss about quantum mechanics. In quantum mechanics, we have some basic topics which are introduction to quantum mechanics, wave-particle duality, de Broglie's hypothesis. First, what is quantum mechanics? Quantum mechanics is the study of processes which occur at atomic scale. The word quantum is derived from the Latin word quanta, which is meant by the bundle or packet. These tiny particles are known as quanta. The study of these small particles are known as quantum mechanics. First, what is the wave nature and particle nature? We discuss about the wave and particle nature. The concept of a particle is easy to grasp. It has mass, it is located at some definite point, it can move from one place to another place. It gives energy when slowed down or stopped. The particle is specified by mass, velocity, momentum and energy. We can calculate them. The concept of wave is bit more difficult than particle because particle is small and it's easy to grasp, but wave is not like that. Wave is spread out over a relatively large region of place. It cannot be spread to be located just here and there. It is hard to think of mass being associated with a wave. A wave is specified by the frequency, wavelength, phase, amplitude, and intensity. So it is difficult to accept the conflicting ideas that radiation has dual nature. Radiation is a wave which is spread out over space and also a particle which is located at a point in space. So radiations including visible light, infrared light, ultraviolet light, X-rays, etc. behave as waves. These radiations all behave as waves, but these radiations contains particles. Proving this is very difficult, but Planck's quantum theory was successful in explaining the blackbody radiation, photoelectric effect, Crompton effect, etc., and had early established that radiant energy, in its interaction with matter, behaves as though it consists of corpuscles. Here, radius interacts with matter in form of photons or quanta, means packets of light. Thus, we conclude that radiations behave like particle. So we can say it has the both wave and particle nature. And then we can derive an expression for wavelength of a matter wave. First of all, we had to know that what is a matter wave. What is a matter wave? And its properties. First, properties of matter waves. Lighter is the particle, greater is the wavelength associated with it. Smaller is the velocity of the particle, greater is the wavelength associated with it. This shows that matter waves are generally by the motion of particles. These waves are produced whether the particles are charged particles or they are uncharged. These properties are all came from the equation. Now we are going expression, sorry. Now we are going to derive the expression. The mathematical expression of for the wavelength of matter wave can be derived by taking a photon into consideration in radiation. According to the photon consideration, an electromagnetic wave is associated with photon, and photon is controlled by wave. A light wave of frequency nu is associated with a photon of energy E. By applying Planck's relation, we get E equals to h nu. According to Einstein's theory of relativity, a particle of mass m is equal to the energy mc square, which is called the Einstein's equation, E equals to mc square. And here we using photon, so energy is equals to h nu, and the velocity is denoted as c, so we can write as h nu equals to mc square. Since the momentum, we know that the momentum formula is p equals to mv, mass into velocity. Here velocity is declined as c, so we write as h nu equals to pc. Here p is momentum because c equals to v lambda. Lambda equals to h by p. By this relation, we can say that lambda equals to h by. So up to this, we had derived that h nu equals to pc, lambda equals to h by p. Lambda equals to h by p. Here instead of p we write mv because p is the momentum. And then we derive the relation for the kinetic energy, which is half mv square, and we multiply and divide with m and p square by 2m, and by doing mathematical calculations we obtain p equals to root of 2m ek. Ek is kinetic energy. And by this also first we take the expression for de Broglie's wavelength, which is lambda equals to h by root 2m ek. Here ek is kinetic energy. If a particle is accelerated with the help of electrostatic energy, the kinetic energy is given by ek equals to qv. This part we have to remember, ek equals to qv. Now the momentum of the particle is given by p equals to root of 2m qv. Hence the de Broglie's wavelength associated with the particle is given by lambda equals to h by root of 2m qv. And then when the particle accelerated with the help of thermal energy, then its kinetic energy is given by ek equals to 3 by 2 kt. Here the kinetic energy of the accelerated particle, here k is the Boltzmann constant, which is equals to 1.38 into 10 power minus 23 joules per Kelvin. Here T is the absolute temperature. Absolute temperature means the temperature in the Kelvin. The momentum of the particle will be given as P equals to root of 2m ek. And here ek we derived the formula above. So ek we can write as 3 by 2 kt, and it's and the result is root of 3m kt. So the momentum equals to root of 3m kt, and we substitute the momentum in lambda equals to h by p. So we obtain lambda equals to h by root of 3m kt. If then the next condition, when the particle is moving with a velocity comparable to that of light, then the mass of the particle is no longer remains as constant. It will varying according to the following equation. The equation is given by m equals to m naught by root of 1 minus of v square by c square, where m is the mass of the particle during the motion, m naught is the rest mass of the particle, v is the velocity of the particle, and c is the velocity of light. From this equation we derive expression for de Broglie's wavelength. It can be slightly modified. So lambda equals to h by mu mv, that is equal to h by h into root of 1 minus mu square by c square by m naught into nu. De Broglie's wavelength is associated with electron. Let us consider the electron of rest mass m naught and charge E accelerated by the potential difference V. The kinetic energy of the electron is given by 1 by 2 m naught mu square equals to ev. Hence the velocity of the electron will be given as nu equals to root of 2 ev by m naught. Lambda equals to h by m naught into v, that equals to h into root of m naught by m naught into root 2 ev. Or this can be written as lambda equals to h by root of 2 ev m naught, where h is Planck's constant, and the value for the Planck's constant is given by 6.625 into 10 power minus 34. And by substituting the values and doing the mathematical calculation, we obtain lambda equals to 12.26 by root v angstroms. And then as I mentioned previously, properties of matter waves, these are all come from these equations. And then we go to detection of matter waves. Detection of matter waves. A wave associated with the motion of material particle is known as a matter wave. Yes, in the previous PDF we had seen the properties, and this is the correct definition for matter wave. A wave associated with the motion of a material particle is known as a matter wave. The matter waves are generated by both macroscopic bodies. However, the wavelengths of matter waves associated with the macroscopic bodies are very small, that they cannot detect in any instrument. So we can't detect the matter waves of macroscopic bodies with any instrument. Before 1924, the electron was exclusively regarded as a particle, but after the suggestion of de Broglie, the electron was given the wave-particle duality. There are many experiments which prove that the electron particle, as it has a definite mass, charge, energy